back in the early 2000s. Customizing your car wasn't just part of the tuner scene, it was the tuner scene. Body kits, wheels, custom paint, underglow, custom stereo systems. We all dreamed of building cars like the ones that were in the games we grew up on. But unlike the game, for our Civic to move forward, something major has to happen first. Time has finally come for our Civic build. Today we are getting it ready for primer, which means repairing the areas that need it, sanding everything the right way, masking it up, and laying the foundation for the paint job that this car deserves. And if everything goes according to plan, we are going to give you a little history on this car and show you a little special something that fell right into our hands for it. Proper prep work is the cornerstone of making any paint job stand the test of time. Now, unfortunately for our Civic, this paint's not doing that. And I actually got a little more history on our Civic and found out some secrets about the paint that's on this. A viewer reached out, and his wife used to actually daily drive this car, and she bought it from a school teacher who brought the car with her when she moved from Puerto Rico. This paint job was actually done in Puerto Rico. I don't know, what kind of materials they're using, what kind of shops they have, but obviously there was a lack of prep, a lack of material quality, and the clear coat on this thing is just not sticking to the base coat. My wife has been working tirelessly throughout the week while I am at my day job, and she has been stripping all of the delaminated clear coat off of our Civic. And she was actually getting so much done that I had to ask her to leave me the hood to show you guys what we need to do. All right, to remove the Puerto Rican sunburn, we are going to use our DA sander with 220 grit. My wife used 400 grit because that's what I like to finish it before primer, and she hated me, so I started having her use 220 grit. It ripped it off a lot better. Still leaves a pretty close finish, and then you just run over it quick with 400 grit. 220, let's get to sanding, and let's get this hood going. I removed the hood window because we don't want to sand our brand new hood window, and we only had it sticky, double-sided sticked on for the time being. And I popped the hood up, so I'm not going to run the sander into the headlights. Let's rip some paint. I'm green. Spot right here is lumped out. Something must have impacted from inside the door. Not sure how they managed that. Maybe they were replacing a window or something. So we're just going to shrink it in. Here I used my stud gun to shrink this stretched metal on the outside of the door skin. It uses electricity to superheat the copper tip, which in turn, when it heats the metal and it cools back down, it tightens and shrinks the area, getting rid of the high spot. It also might start fires. It's smoke. Trying to take my car apart while it's burning down, I guess.
Is he okay?
He's fine.
He's fine, Turtle.
So what was burning was on the backside of the impact bar, and it was just smoking some of that adhesive there where it glues it to the impact bar. So thankfully nothing too bad. Spray a little clay bar water on it because that's what I had available, and no fire in the Civic. I'm guessing somebody couldn't get in the hood at some point, and they used pliers to peel this up to access the latch or something. So got that hammered out, just need some filler on it. Same thing with the door.
See how I do it, son?
Look, give me some on
I
this
put
side.
it right there on the edge.
How's it going?
Good. Okay.
Wow!
Mama,
I will
it's a
knock the
celebration.
breath out of you.
So I have the filler spread on all the problem areas of the car, and I need to let it dry out really good, and then sand it out. And I'm going to try to do this in only 1 or 2 rounds. A lot of times when people are putting filler on, they put it on, they sand too much off, they put it on, they sand too much off, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm gonna try to get it 80 busted down real close, flip to 220, get it real close, 400, and ready for primer. With the majority of the bodywork done on the Civic, now we just need to go around and catch some edges, some things like this right here, and then areas of the clear coat that I missed sanding off. You can see it's starting to get a fuzzy edge because it's delaminating. So we need to do that. Got some repairs done on the fender, front corner of the hood, back door. Now that's still an 80 grit. I have to hit that with 220 and then 400 to make sure that when we prime it, it's not leaving sand scratches, nothing to come up later. A couple areas on the roof, we got to hit the clear a little bit better. And then we'll just be going around the whole thing and getting all of the edges. And you want to make sure you got everything scuffed really good, because otherwise what happened right there will happen on the rest of the car. I still have to pull the skirts off and the fuel door. I'm undecided on the door handles as of yet. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to paint the mirrors on the car or off the car, but they need to get scuffed as well. And then the antenna as well. I'm just going to put a carbon fiber block off on that. I'm sure there are guys that know a lot about bodywork and they're just screaming at me that they want me to strip the car all the way down. And I agree. Generally, in this case where the car's been painted twice, it did have a delamination issue. We would want to strip the whole car, but being that it's a 98 four-door Civic, it's not really worth spending weeks stripping a car down to bare metal and then putting epoxy primer on it and then re-body working the whole thing and then priming and all of that, because the value of the car is never going to justify the paint job. So what we really need to do is we need to put down a good surface for it to attach to, and so that's what we've been doing. We got rid of the bad clear coat, and then we're just going around and making sure everything's scuffed, everything is edged really well, and we are going to put some primer down on this thing, get that sanded out straight, and then paint it, and that'll be a good foundation for it. Is it a concourse restoration? Absolutely not, but this is a 98 Honda Civic. A fun car, but not overly valuable. I think a lot of times when we're working on projects, we get hung up on perfection, and then we just bury ourselves in basically so much labor that we can't even finish the car and enjoy it, and then they just sit apart for a really long time. And this thing's been getting sanded for over a week already. Now, it's not my full-time job doing this, but it's plenty of time. We'll have a plenty good product, and it's going to show out well, it's going to hold up, and it's going to be so cool. I cannot wait to show you. Got a delivery notification, so I packed up and left work early. Don't tell my boss.
Ooh, yeah.
But we got something. It's a bouncy house for our cars. First thing tomorrow morning, we're gonna get this thing masked up. We are gonna get some primer on it finally, and it's not gonna look like a jawbreaker. All right, tomorrow. Time's finally come to open up the big box, see what's in it for our automotive bouncy house, and try to set this thing up. Probably should be careful with the knife with inflatables, but oh, look at that. They put this there so you didn't cut it. Smart. All right, we got, oh, this must be sandbags. 3 of them? I think you'd have 4, but got a small air blower for the exhaust, intake exhaust, air circulation, a bigger one to blow this thing up. Oh, there's number 4. Wonder if it's got stakes in it. It's got stakes. I'm glad this came with a bag. All right. Let's go and roll this. As luck would have it, it seems I unrolled it backwards, so I gotta spin it all around and then let's blow it up. This thing is so freaking cool. Look at that. Paint booth. It really only took a couple minutes to blow up. There are some side flaps that were unzipped. As soon as I closed that, the thing just popped right up. I imagine they're there in the middle so you can push the air out when you're rolling this thing up. But it is amazing how small that was rolled up, and then now we have like a full-on 23-foot by 13-foot paint booth. So yeah, I got it staked in. I'm gonna hook up the exhaust fan. We'll get that hooked up. Hook up. We'll get that on there, and then let's pull the car in there. There's the intake. Got windows, exhaust filters. I'm actually really excited. There's little loops to hang stuff from. I was trying to figure out how I was going to do that. So that's nice. It's a little hot in here, but it's Florida. A little bit of heat's something that we just get used to dealing with. And apparently I wore a shirt that perfectly matches the paint booth color today. Let's get this door unzipped. Let's pull the Civic in. So we have it here, one Civic in an inflatable spray booth. We got a beautiful view of a roached out boat and a nice Toyota. But yeah, it's in here, so I guess the next thing to do is mask it up, wipe it down, and get some primer on it. Masked up and scuffed and blown off. I'll give it a quick wipe down with some wax and grease remover, and we'll get some primer on this. I have been sweating profusely. This thing is literally a sauna. We've got the little porta-cool in here. We had some of the windows open because it is cooking hot in here. But let's wipe this thing down. I'm ready to see it black. All right, the first thing we're going to go over this with, I at least want to hit the filler areas with an epoxy primer. We're going to reduce this and make it into a sealer. So let's get that cracked open, get it in the cup, mix in some reducer. If you need any paint for your project, hit the link in the description, use the coupon code, get 10% off. Spray the primer. I didn't really want to use my 1.3 tip in my solder gun, so I opted to buy a Amazon special. I think I paid $23 for this, but it was Prime Days. I think it's under $30 for this paint gun. Comes with multiple tips, so we got the 2.0 in there, so we'll really be able to lay some stuff down quick. Let's put the epoxy primer in. We will seal up the filler areas, and then after that we will mix up our primer and we'll prime it on. As always, anytime we're spraying and we want to make sure the paint job turns out good, I put on the proper footwear. The Hello Kitties. And for those of you that have been around for a while, I wore these painted Tundra, but I first got them when I was in Nashville painting the engine bay on the GTR. So Hello Kitties are on. Let's grab a respirator and let's spray some epoxy. All right, after spraying that, it seems like I probably have enough to just cover the whole car in a coat of sealer, so we're going to do that quick. Now that we've got our problem areas covered, and let's get a nice even coat on this. We want to bury all these, multiple layers of previous paint jobs and just seal it off nice and even, and that's going to lay a really good foundation for the primer to go on. So let's go ahead and spray that. sealer is on. Let's let that blow out of here a little bit so I can breathe better, and then we'll mix some primer. All right, the next thing we're gonna mix up is our high build primer surfacer. It's a 4-to-1 with the Y2K hardener. So we are going to stir this up good, mix it 4-to-1, start spraying. Primer is dry. I went to the lake to cool down a little bit because it's like 125, 130 degrees in here. Primer's nice and dry. It didn't go perfect because I thought that if I moved quick enough, I could just go from having epoxy in the gun to just putting primer in without cleaning it, and it definitely had some epoxy chunks dry up and blast on top of the primer, but no. We're gonna sand it anyways, so. Sometimes when you've been painting for 20 years, you think you can get away with things, and then you just have to remind yourself you can't. But let's get this thing unmasked. Let's get it out of the booth. I still have to do the bumpers, so I just didn't want to be crowded in here. There was no reason to rush. Let's pull some paper. All right, just pull away from the car. Let's pull it down away from the paper. Telling you, have kids and make them help you. It's like so much better than doing it yourself. Just letting the primer dry up a little bit more on these before we move them, and then we will get this all cleared out of here. I got the portacool and tripods and whatever. We'll get all this out of here. We will blow it down really good to kind of get the dust out of here before, so it's clean for the next time I use it. I kind of want to hose it out, but I think it's just going to stay wet for a really long time, and I got to get the booth down tonight because I have to work tomorrow. But yeah, I would say today's been a total success. Looks kind of tough in black, but yeah, it went really well. Other than me not cleaning the paint gun, I cleaned the paint gun before I did the bumpers, and they came out nice and smooth. It's nothing to do with the products. It's nothing to do with the paint gun, even though it was a cheap paint gun. It's just me trying to be in a rush, and it probably doesn't help that it was like 130 degrees in the paint booth. It just kind of makes you want to get it done as fast as possible. I was getting hot. I just wanted it done. I was just thinking about swimming at the lake and cooling off a little bit, so we took the boat out for a bit. But now, look at that. Now I just have a ton more sanding to do and a ton more masking to do, and then we can get into the fun part, which will be the paint. And of course, when I say fun, I mean really painstaking, really exhausting, but really, really rewarding. That's it for today with the inflatable paint booth. I have it swept out. I blew it out multiple times because you don't want to leave it full of dust, and I'm sure when this thing starts folding, the paint that did land on the floor is just going to break off and become dust for later. I imagine when I fire it back up in a couple weeks here to paint the car, I'm gonna have to blow it down again just so we don't have to worry about dust in the booth. But it's kind of odd because it's like a bouncy house, but you also want to treat it like a clean room. But we're gonna get this thing deflated. We are going to try to wrap it back up into that bag, and it's gonna be interesting, but I think we can do it. I can't believe that fit in the bag. We're 100% professional here.
It's in the bag.
It's in the bag.
In the bag.
The bag. I told you we got a little surprise for the Civic, a little something I hadn't been planning to get, especially this soon, but here it is. Same guy that reached out and said this was his wife's daily driver Civic for a long time. While I met up with him, he wanted to contribute to the build, so he gave us a GT35 Turbo, brand new, some he had sitting around the shop, and it seems like our Turbo K24 is going to come a little sooner. Now we have to get this thing painted first. That is the next big step, obviously, and once we get the paint knocked out and a few other things, then we can move into performance and we can do a turbo swap on our budget K24. Maybe we'll see how cheap we can turbo it. We're not boosted boys, but you know, maybe we can get it done. All the links to the paint coupon code and the link to get any Limeline paint you need is going to be in the description below. I'm also going to throw in links to the V4 paint booth we got and the cheap spray gun so you can see exactly what we paid and exactly what we used in case you need it for yourself. Woodpecker approved. I need to get to do some sanding. The next video is going to be probably the biggest one of the series. I am going to really let it rip on this paint job. You guys already saw the chameleon paint. You already saw that I have a few extra colors, and there's going to be a lot of airbrushing on this thing, and it's going to look like a straight Need for Speed Underground build. Let's get to it. I'm going to start sanding. Peace. And one more thing. Head over to Terra-SharkTV.com, get awesome shirts, sandals, stickers. Help us save the tuners. Check it out. I'm going to get back to sanding.